Hello and welcome back to ETStudios, your hub for all things retail. We are broadcasting live from the Great India Retail Summit 24. I'm your host Himanshi Tiwari and we have got an exciting interview lined up for you right now. Joining us is a true visionary in the world of gold and jewelry, Dhaval Raja, Chief General Manager of Senco Gold. Welcome, we're thrilled to have you here, sir.
Thank you so much, Himanshi.
All right, so if you could describe Senco Gold's jewelry collections using only 3 words, what would that be? It's your time to shine on now.
It's world-class craftsmanship. Yeah.
All right.
So it's just summarized in 3 words. It's a best of karigari that we are offering to the
All
world.
right. Best of karigari, best of craftsmanship. All right. So you're known for your exquisite designs and your karigari, your craftsmanship. So can you tell us about the inspiration behind some of your most iconic collections and how you continue to kind of push the boundaries of innovation in the jewelry industry?
Right. So we have various collections offering to the various needs of the consumers, right? So we have Rajwada collection, the Great Viva collection, catering to the brides, of the India. So our jewelry is not only limited, say to the, so if we calling about the wedding, it is not limited to a groom or a bride. It is also for the entire family because the whole family comes, they shop, they spend a lot of time buying the jewelry. So we have a strong design team, who understands, who studies the market, who understands, what the brides are looking for, what the grooms are looking for, what the parents of the bride or grooms are looking for, right? And so we cater to the each and individual needs of the consumers. So there is a whole study that goes behind it. There is a lot of research that goes behind it. What are the trends into the market? What is international market behaving like? What are the designs which are good? So there is a whole study, research, understanding the consumer, taking a feedback from the consumers. And the collections are then offered.
All right. So this is how you study consumer behaviors, right? And talking about trends, sustainability is becoming increasingly important in the retail sector, right? So how does Senco Gold approach sustainability in its operations and sourcing practices, and what initiatives have you implemented to ensure, ethical practices?
Right. So we will work with a lot of karigars across the country. We source from the karigars, vendors. We have our own manufacturing hubs. We have factories where we manufacture the products, and so there is a sustainable business, that we are into. And of course, when you say it is ethical, it's the most ethical business that Senco follows, right? So we are abide by the government rules and regulations. So we are completely in a business where there is a complete watch happening. So that's one industry, which is always under the scanner. So it's a complete ethical practices. And as far as sustainability is concerned, in terms of the right supply chain that we have, the factory, the sourcing, this over the years, it's been 80 years that Senco is into the industry. So it has been a sustainable business for us.
Yeah, 80 years bringing the best of craftsmanship. And also we are in the digital era, right? With the rise of e-commerce and online retail platforms, the jewelry industry has also seen a shift.
Yes.
Right? In consumer behavior that you were talking about. So how is Senco Gold kind of adapting to these changes and leveraging digital channels to reach out to the wider audience?
Right. So, post-COVID era and even during the COVID, I think most of the brands had to resort to the digital platforms, and Senco was not left behind. We had a lot of changes in the way that we used to sell our products. So today, almost most of the customers that we have, we are digitally connected with them. We have virtual try-ons on our sites where a customer can, just sit in the front of a camera and they can see what product, how it looks on them. We have a strong omni-channel, so the whole buying experience is completely gratified, and the consumers basically could connect offline to online, right? So we are leveraging very strongly on the omni-channel business, on the social media networking. So yeah, I mean, with the brands, more and more customers getting evolved, moving towards the digital era, I think we see a very good business coming from the online business.
All right. So when we talk about jewelry industry, a lot of money is involved.
Yeah.
Right. So how much, I want to understand how much is the brick and mortar spaces, and how much is the e-commerce spaces bringing business to you?
Right. So brick and mortar is primary chunk of the business, because still consumer, though no matter the whole world is moving to digital era and social media, social networking, but still, jewelry, when we talk about the jewelry, people like to try ons, they want to see how they look after wearing it, because it's a high ticket items, right? And once they buy, so they look it not only from the perspective that they are buying a product, it is also about the sentiments that's attached with it, right? So most of the consumers, they still prefer buying from the stores. They go, they spend good enough time spending there, selecting jewelries, taking the suggestions of the families, and that's how the buying journey of the consumer is.
So you just told us how much of research goes into studying consumer behaviors, right? So do you have any two trends in the top of your mind about consumer behaviors, and how are you anticipating the whole jewelry industry to be in the upcoming few years?
Yeah, so the whole buying has a there is a shift of a complete buying experience, the consumers is looking at. So initially, we used to talk about engaging the consumers, doing a lot of connect with the consumers, but now what we have seen, it's a paradigm shift. So customer, it's not only about engaging with the customer, but it is about more of an experience that the customer wants, right? So it's not that just we connect with them, but it's also that how is their buying journey throughout the time that they spend at the store or on the online medium. So that's one of the thing, where we see that consumer is more evolved. They know more about what the product is. So in last few years, few years back, if you see, the consumers were not aware so much about what the gold is, the rates are, what the diamond rates are, color, clarity, right? So all these things, I think now the customers have evolved. They know what product they want to buy, what exactly the product is all about, right? So it's all about servicing the customer, giving the right experience to the customer. That's what we are also at the Senco looking at.
All right. So have you encountered any challenges during this whole transition from brick and mortar to e-commerce, and how did you kind of evolve through this whole transition?
Right. So I think the whole world post-COVID, I think everybody wants to get into the digitization mode, connect more and more digitally with the consumers, and that remains the fact also, because even consumers would first like to experience what the brand is. So even today, if you see, people go online, they check this stuff. If they like something, they come back to store, they try, they buy it, right? So it's the whole shopping has evolved over the years. So initially, people used to come at stores, spend a lot of time, but now they first check what the product is, what the brand is offering, what are the policies of the company, how transparent is the organization.
Consumers are becoming more evolved now, as you said earlier.
Absolutely. So that's how, the whole journey has been. So we see a lot of customers who go online, they check, and there is a cart department happening, and they come back to store and they buy from the store.
All right. That's good to hear. That was some great perspective, Dhaval. Now, as we are wrapping up this conversation, could you share any exciting projects or initiatives that Senco Gold has in the pipeline for the future?
Yeah. So currently Senco Gold is operating with 160 stores across India. We are present in 16 states and more than 100 towns. So that's how our spread has been. Though we have evolved from the eastern region of the country, but now if you see Senco Gold stores, it's spreaded across the country. Moreover, we had an IPO last year, that is in July, and we have doing tremendously well over the last 3 quarters. And recently, we also forayed into the bag business. So we are getting into the lifestyle. We have started off with the brand called Senes, which is into lab-grown diamonds and the bags that we are offering. Right. So, and moreover, we are also venturing into the international market. Our first store is about to come in Dubai.
All right. So what are those 2 things that consumers can expect from Senco Gold in the coming few years?
Trust is the very first thing, because we are the most trusted brand. So that's the foremost thing that any consumer, if we talk about Senco, if you give as a brand recall, then it is a trust that will come, because it also comes with the legacy that we have over the 80 years. So that's the first thing. And second is the product.
Yeah, which says shine on.
Sure.
All
Sure.
right. And also, Dhaval, we are here at GIRS.
Yeah.
How has been your experience so far at the event?
Phenomenal. I mean, at GIRS, I initially thought, it's the first
Inaugural event.
inaugural event
Yeah.
that you guys have, and I was wondering that how it would be.
Yeah.
But trust me, it has been fantastic. We had a lot of networking that has happened, very good sessions, good
Yeah.
speakers
Yeah.
who have come down, who have shared their views on how the industry will behave.
Yeah.
Very futuristic, and I mean, I think as a first time event, it was beyond my expectations.
Well, thank you for those words, Dhaval. And also, any one takeaway you have from this event, from any of the panels that you might have attended?
No, many. I mean, there are a lot of takeaways, whichever panel which I have attended, and all have been good, because somebody has spoken on how to build up a brand. There was a session which were talking about the packaging, that how it would move. So good sessions, good speakers. I think I enjoyed the entire session that I had, and for last 2 days I have been attending the session, so it has been good.
Good to hear that, Dhaval, and thank you so much for being here today with us. It was a pleasure to have this conversation.
Same here, Himanshi. Thank you so much.
And that wraps up our conversation. Thank you so much for joining us today. Remember, for all the latest updates and insights from the Great India Retail Summit 2024, stay tuned to ET Retail and ET Studios. Until next time, thank you for watching.